Awesome. Okay, so part 2 is what's being asked of you guys as participants. So ultimately, I want your experience, whatever that looks like. The way I want this process to be is so that it's not intrusive in anyone's life, We're doing things. People have plates spinning. So the only kind of really written observations that I'm asking you guys to make would be like 1 to 3 sentences, literally whenever you want. If you feel it's best to do this at the end of the day, do it then. I probably wouldn't do it in the beginning of the day because your day just started. You haven't had time to see the results in the day, but you've had time to process the results from yesterday, so maybe do that. If mornings work best, do mornings. Evenings, do evenings. If you just make simple things on your little Apple Notes pad, 1 to 3 sentences that are just taking note of subtle shifts, of choices that you made that you might not have made in the past, of ways of responding to things that seemed a little different. And you're going to notice it. It looks different for everyone, but the way this kind of starts rearing its beautiful head is just you just see it poking out in your life. And you're like, oh, well, that's different. And it's subtle within the fabric of your habits and patterns, but it's changing them. And you notice that, even microscopic things. So, or you don't notice anything. You write, today I didn't notice anything. That's it. 1 to 3 sentences, however you fit it into the day. If you want to write more, be my guest. Much appreciated. But if you don't, it's not appreciated. Literally, that is all we need here. Because over the course of 20 days, that's going to tell us a lot. And then the next thing is just to get proof of concept as a whole. I think this is a really, really powerful way of interacting with our subconscious mind to produce lives that are very healthy and nurturing to the macrocosm that we exist in. But I need other people to verify that it has the same effect on them. So, at the end, you'll have a really nice retrospective view of the past 20 days. And, the story will tell itself. And once it does, that's when I ask, that you just tell me. And then during the time, between the first day and the 20th, I'd like, obviously, your feedback on the app. If you feel like there's bugs, if there's things that you think are clunky, things that you'd like to see, if the chat bot just seems like it could be doing something better, anything, on the grounds of technicality, that's just, it's a standard beta test. We want to troubleshoot within the app, but we also want proof of concept. And really, that's it. So, if you guys have questions, now's the time. Oh yeah, real quick. I'll send everyone a link so that you can access the app, and you can create a little profile. It's just, email and password for login, standard login. And if it's possible to start using it tonight, great. But if it's more comfortable to start using it within the next few days, if you want a little startup time, that's fine. I want to say, this beta test, it doesn't have to be a tight night 0 to night 20. We can give ourselves a month here, you know. One more thing I want to say that Jennifer and I were talking about is this also doesn't exclude the fact that we're humans. And as humans, we have emotions. We're all probably processing things. And I'm not going to lie. I do try to do this nightly, regularly. But there are some nights where, in my sorting out of my own muck, I'm too depressed to listen to this. Thankfully that doesn't happen often, but sometimes I just can't hear myself saying anything because it might feel just like a disturbance, like I need silence, So if you're ever in an extremely volatile emotional state where you just need quiet, or you just need to feel your feelings without any other input, then you don't have to do it. Ideally, for gathering the most reliable data, if you can, listen to it every night for 20 nights. You're sleeping to it, it's happening in your sleep, and that's beautiful. But if that ever comes up, or if one night you just forget, this is not a Duolingo break your streak kind of thing. Like, the effects of this method will happen. You could take 5 nights off. You could take a month off. But when something is accepted by the subconscious, it's like, it's there until you change it again. So you don't have to worry. This isn't like a losing progress kind of thing if you skip a night or a few nights. I ask that, like I said, if it's within your comfort and control, you be as consistent as you can. But yeah, so now with that said, if anyone has questions, and if anyone who sees this has questions, just shoot me a message. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Logistics of, you said you'll send a link.
Yeah.
This is something that do we go to like a website on our phone?
Yeah.
And then will there be a timer? Will it turn off? Will it?
Yeah. So it's a web app. It's possible to get this on like the App Store for Google and Apple, but I'm not doing that until we get this data. So for now, it's a web app. Mm-hmm. You can access it on your phone or a computer. So if I have a little Bluetooth speaker next to my bed, so I'll just listen to it on that. And I don't need to show you how it looks because they wouldn't see. Once you create the track, there's a little interface where you can press play. There's sliders so you can adjust the volume of both the background music or the white noise and your voice. That's another thing I should have said. What's cool about this app is it lets you do all the mixing and recording in one place. When I started out, I didn't know there were other apps that did that. So I would go all over the internet. I had to learn how to use Audacity, and I would download free sleep music and record my voice and all this stuff. This, you just use your phone, you record your voice, and then there's a library of nature sounds and sleep music, and you choose and you layer them. And there's a slider, like I said, to make your voice as quiet or as loud as you want, and the music as quiet or as loud. You can change that at any time during the recording. Once you press play, it's on a timer. The screen is mostly black, so it doesn't disrupt your sleep. Even if you have it far from you, so it doesn't produce excess light in your room or wherever your phone is. And yeah, it'll turn on when you do that. It'll turn off by itself, and that's it.
Okay. Can we turn our phone off? can you click it off, or does the phone have to be on?
You know, I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to try. I'll tell you tonight. I'll send it in the group chat.
Okay.
But if it doesn't turn off, or if it turns off when you click sleep, what I would just say, like, turn the brightness all the way down on your phone, and it'll still play through. And then you can have it charging. Same with a laptop. Turn the brightness all the way down so nothing burns into your screen, and then leave the laptop plugged in. You know, whatever your audio source, you could just do that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've been doing.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Did you have your hand up over there?
Oh, yeah.
Go, then you go first.
Yeah.
So you know me, I'm kind of business-minded, and I'm not the kind of person to try to poke holes in something, but
No go.
I have an idea for you. So, have you done any research on like vocal tonality and sleep at the same time?
No.
Because just a worrying thought that came to my mind is, what if you basically have someone record their voice in like basically like a, I don't know, a dramatic or a ridiculous manner or
They
whatnot,
keep
and
themselves
then
up.
they hit you with a 1-star review because they're like, I can't sleep at night. You know, it's like it sounds ridiculous.
No, it's. I think that if that happens, I'm gonna take the L. Because I just don't think anything's perfect. Well, you know, actually, I think this is because it's very scientifically rooted, I think if a person sticks to it, I don't think there's too many people it wouldn't work for. But if someone was really just like chronically prone to be kept up by their own voice at night, they might be kind of screwed. Or if they were being really dramatic, like with their tone, they might just tweak their tone. You know, they might like intuitively think like, oh, maybe if I change, you know, like they might be inwardly prompted to tweak it themselves. But other than that, I'm not sure yet what I could implement as like a safeguard for that.
Exactly. I think it's just worth thinking about.
Yeah. You know, maybe there could be like a little prompt in the recording section that tells people, hey, speak in a normal voice, speak like you would speak to yourself, and speak in a voice that will allow you to fall asleep to it. Okay, yeah. That would be a good safeguard.
Yeah, just some level of disclaimer or something like that.
Guidance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what? I think there already is a disclaimer about something else, so I could just add that to the pop-up. Yeah, I put in there, you know how I just said that little thing in response to Jennifer about, like, you want to turn the brightness all the way down and stuff? I actually put a pop-up that instructs you, so I'll put that in the pop-up. Thank you, Trevor.
Just second little appendage part.
Yeah.
When you record your voice, how often does it loop over the background music?
The background's just going. Like, the background music doesn't start over again.
No, I know, but how often does your voice loop over it? Like, every 5 seconds, 10 seconds?
We could do it now. I don't know.
But first, I believe she had a question.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. And I know the Think Up allows you to say how often you want the loop to go. So you could allow more space in between it. That might be something that I wonder if there's any research on that.
Yeah, because like
do we want it to be slow? Because I know personally for me, like when I record the affirmation on Think Up, I say it like 3 times.
Yeah.
And so it's like my own voice saying it like 3 times. It has like 3 different.
So then it loops that.
and then it loops that. So
Interesting.
I'm not only saying it one time to myself, I'm actually saying it 3 times to myself a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And then that loops and has a little bit of a pause in between.
That's really cool. I hadn't tried that.
So that could be part of the instructions,
Yeah.
to say it 3 times in 3 different tones, maybe emphasizing a part of.
But I don't even know if that's like, what
What
did
he's
you
talking
do
about.
when
Right.
you did yours?
I just recorded myself saying it once.
But then is it repeating?
Yeah.
And then that was the question, is how often? And is it one only or a set of 3? Didn't you say there were 3 things?
No, I did one affirmation.
1 per night. Say.
Yeah. Or no, just one for the whole 20 nights.
Yeah.
Like you're listening to the same statement.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask about. How would you like us to do the affirmations? Do you want one?
Yeah.
Do you want to go for like, is it like open? You want everybody to be open in theirs? Do you want to go something more specific?
Yeah, no, okay, so treat it like a Christmas list, but focus on one thing. What is one belief that you would like to adjust or, install, so to speak? And yeah, be specific, but using, language that will be, like, kind of talk to yourself like you're talking to a child. So, if you want to get comfortable with money, for example, you don't have to be like, I want $1.72 million in my savings account, and I want $1.35 million in my checking. Like, you don't need to get super specific. Be specific enough to give it direction. But you could be very broad. And a good example to illustrate that is, and this is something you could all try if you want, one thing that Bruce Lipton says should be really at the top of everyone's list when they're installing any belief. He says the first one that he has his clients install is, I love myself. Because I love myself is a mother belief. If you are doing something for your physical health, that is an act of self-love. If you're doing something for your bank account, that's self-love. If you're doing something even for someone else, if you're doing an act of kindness in a way that's kind of funky, that is still self-love. Any positive action is rooted in the most loving version of yourself. So what I did for my first 20 nights was, I love myself. Click. And then it would loop. I think it goes like every 5 seconds. But you have control over it based on how slow you talk when you're recording. But that also could be very subjective, so something we might need to look at. But what I noticed when I did I Love Myself, it seeped into every area of my life. So what I'm saying is, if you install a belief, you don't have to worry about being hyper-specific, because you might find that not only does it penetrate that area of your life, but it also, like, oh wow, I'm doing these things differently too. So there's almost a blessing in not worrying about being too specific with this. Because your subconscious mind, once it adopts a belief, it doesn't work like your conscious mind does. It's not hung up on semantics. Like, it'll take one belief and just spit that out into like 5 different products in your life. So yeah, don't worry about being too specific. Give it direction, and use believable language, which the app helps you with.
So in this app, you have a prompt to pick an affirmation in an area that you wish to see development, growth, change, upgrade
Yeah.
in. So you pick a certain thing, but you can choose as many as you want. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could.
And you can also have them repeat 1 or 20 as frequently as you desire to hear them. So it could be 1 every 2 minutes, or it could be 1 every 5 seconds.
I got to work on that part. That part isn't programmed in there.
I see.
Yeah, the whole the frequency part.
Uh-huh.
That's a box I got to check.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm just trying to get a sense of if I were looking for something, I would like to see very personalized
Yeah.
controls.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll add that.
For me.
Definitely. And then to your point about, how you can record as many things as you want, I recommend, and also,
Yeah, I was going to say, coaching is
yeah,
one.
for this, and especially for giving us reliable data, pick one thing in one statement, like instead of saying, I love myself, I have a great relationship with finances, I am in a healthy relationship. Don't be tempted to say too many things, because what we want is for this to have the effect of a laser instead of a flashlight. Really strengthen and program one belief at a time, because the truth is it's a long life. If this works for you, there will be plenty of sets of 20 nights to do this, but pick one thing for 20 nights. And the reason for that number is, it comes out of Bruce Lipton and Marilyn Jeanette. So 20 is great, one thing, and yeah, if it works, then just, it's the beauty of going one thing at a time. And you do get that payoff of the things that it seemingly randomly also affects.
A holographic effect, because when you move one piece,
Exactly.
everything else is now in relation to that.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like you really can't touch a part of yourself without in some way rippling out and affecting everything. So yeah.
I guess the last thing I'll leave you with, this is like the beta version, so this doesn't matter that much right now. Does
But it
your
could.
app potentially have the ability to gather background user data?
Like what?
Like, let's say based on the prompts people chose, based on the way they used it,
Oh.
or to make sure people are using the method effectively, if they're using it in a sequence of 20 days, or if they're only using it for 10 days or 5 days.
So,
So you want to track?
so the journeys?
It would be wise to see, so obviously you'd probably, if you were to do something like that, you'd have to have a user sort of
Agreement,
based on
right.
certain things, with some level of
It has to be
anonymity.
quadruple encrypted.
We are
No way
watching
it's
you.
spreading out.
But it would be interesting and potentially beneficial for the evolution of your app to know if people use a certain prompt the most.
Yeah.
If people are sort of craving a certain direction in their life the most, how successful that direction's being, etc.
Yeah. Well, for the usage frequency, when you create your thing, it opens up a journey, and it's the journeys tab. You'll see this that you listen to it in, and you can edit it, you're not literally locked in, but you kind of the app says you're on day 1, and then the next time you listen to it, it's day 2. So obviously a person could listen to it on day 1, skip 18 days, and then come back and it would say you're on day 2. But there is light structure, it does happen within a container.
So what I saw in that description of setting this thing up is that perhaps a little more structure in the instructions that says pick a day, pick a time,
Uh-huh.
and there's an alarm on your phone that goes off and begins to support you in having this behavior that you pretend to want to invoke into your life, this change of behavior, subliminally as well as functionally. So you actually have it set up so you pick yourself a time of the day
Yeah.
that you have decided for yourself that I'm devoting to. When the alarm goes off, that means you do the affirmation, the write down, the
Oh, okay. Well, so for the writing down thing, that's just like that's part of the beta. Like that's not a part of the method. Like if you use the app,
yes.
you don't have to do that for it to work. The reason I'm asking that is just so we can collect.
Feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in any case, it's putting a linear component to ground this external adventure to the structure of the existing context, so that you're stepping into both sides
Right.
by making it regimented and completely freeform.
Right.
So you're saying that by just having awareness of how this is affecting me in my life, that could then have some
like
results
furthering it
as well.
Yeah.
So not just throwing this out there, I'll listen to it, I'll listen for 20 nights, and then, in 20 days, I'm like, I was listening to that app, did that do anything? But if I'm actually, like, having feedback each day, or just seeing, like...
That's programs.
Right.
Then I might be noticing some subtle difference. Then we go back to maybe the part where just this little increment goes like, today actually I did have a little bit more ease in this one area. Was that from the app that I just did? Was that from something else? I don't know, but it's curious. I'm going to just put that down.
Because it invokes observing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the middle ground
I like that.
would be I can put in a journal tab,
Yeah.
but I could have it not be required. Because the last thing I want to do is intimidate people.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of this app is its effortlessness. So if people want to put in the extra effort, then they can.
Yeah.
They have a place to do it.
So if the alarm goes off and it's just a reminder, it's just like, I got to leave for school. It's just a reminder. It doesn't
Yeah.
tell you to do anything.
Yeah.
But if the reminder keeps coming on because you chose to participate and in doing so agreed to set yourself up a timer because you're trying to turn your own